In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about jumping into a vat of preserves, saying pony pshaw to teenage mustaches and looking at dingle dangles, and serving the devil's wench in our discussion of The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. It's fine. It's fine. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult, and sometimes other, like graphic novels, like this time, books, series, authors, voice actors, and illustrators that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire. And today we're going to discuss The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang.
Standard disclaimer. If you haven't read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read the book. Then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up.
Yay!
Yay!
New month, new theme! A picture's worth 1,000 words.
Hooray! I wonder what we're going to talk about this month. Actually, there's only one graphic novel this time. I'm very impressed with us.
Because it's read a comic book or a graphic novel or a book with illustrations. And you know we like a tenuous link, so we've got one of those in there as well.
And yes, and then there's something else that's vaguely related in the best way. It is a serious tenuous link. So everyone needs to look forward to all of our books that we're discussing this month.
Yay.
Yay.
You're on order. Right, let's dive into this one. Give me some background information.
I read an interview with Book Riot, and the interviewer says, "What a charming tale, and a graphic novel I didn't know I needed. What inspired the Prince Sebastian and Francis adventures?" And Jen replies, "Thank you. For a while, I've wanted to do a story involving a character whose superpower is making clothes that transform the wearer. I could never figure out the premise until one day I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and suddenly it was obvious the story was about gender expression. The rest of the story, all the fairy tale romance, the princess elements quickly fell into place from there."
Yay!
It's
See,
so
RuPaul's
cute.
Drag Race inspires so many.
Yes. Amazing. What are your initial thoughts? Mine are yay!
Well, considering the RuPaul Drag Race reference, I feel like I need to say it serves charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. But
I love it. You're going to have to be the one who handles all of those references because I've never watched RuPaul's Drag Race. I love RuPaul, but that's not a type of show that I like, that I enjoy at all. So
I am a few seasons behind, I will admit. The last season I saw was with Milk.
Yeah, see, I don't know what that means. So
Milk is a person.
Yay!
Yay! But yeah, okay. That's fine. But I'm glad we've covered this one because I've seen it a few times.
Yes.
We've talked about it a few times.
I was about to say, I feel like we've talked about this one a few times.
So we're finally getting to it.
Finally.
Finally. It's been on our radar. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Countess Clementine of Artois is holding a ball to celebrate her nephew, the Crown Prince Sebastian of Belgium's 16th birthday, and all eligible young women are invited to attend. It's amazing! The city is a bustle of preparations, especially the dressmakers. In one store, a harassed woman is desperate for a new ball gown for her daughter, Lady Sophia, who ruined her dress by going horseback riding in it, and it's delightful. The dressmaker appoints one of his seamstresses, Frances, to the task. Frances takes Lady Sophia's measurements. She asks for the new dress to be ghastly. And I love it so much. So Frances works late into the night on it.
I honestly thought Lady Sophia, oh no, she's one of those, because of the way she's drawn, quite like, pug-nosed.
Yes.
And then she said, oh, just make it ghastly. I was like, nope, love you.
Nope, love you immediately.
Love you to bits. At the ball the next night, mamas brag about their daughters, trying to one-up each other as they're being announced. When Lady Sophia enters, all eyes turn to her. She is dressed in all black. Her eyes are smudged with kohl. Her bodice is skin-tight and cut low in the front and in the back. Her shoulders are draped in feathers, and her skirt is see-through, displaying her stockings and garters.
So gorgeous.
Amazing. She is serving. The dress causes outrage amongst the mamas, but someone is watching Lady Sophia with fascination from behind curtains.
So good.
Us.
It's us. We're back there.
Us.
We're back there and we're drooling. We need like a wet floor sign to put next to us. The papers call Frances's dress an abomination of taste and distinction, so obviously the dressmaker isn't too happy. Frances's berating is halted when a gentleman comes in to find the person who made Lady Sophia's dress. The dressmaker pushes her forward, admitting he was going to fire her. Well, great, because his client wants to hire her. Wait, what?
Sucks to be you, dressmaker. Well, as you can imagine, the dressmaker's tune changes. He's not firing Frances at all. Honest, no. She's been promoted. And with a raise!
Oh.
4 francs a week. The gentleman offers 5. The dressmaker can't offer any greater incentive, so Frances accepts the gentleman's offer, and he says to be ready to be picked up tomorrow morning. Frances is, frankly, stunned, and she's not the only one. The whole of the seamstresses on staff watched the entire exchange. Probably going, please pick me too.
Me. Early the next day, with fog heavy in the streets, Frances is collected in a carriage by the gentleman. Again, the whole of the seamstresses on staff are watching. She's driven through the streets that get lighter and progressively more ostentatious. Once at their destination, the gentleman introduces himself as Emile. He asks her to put on a blindfold because his client insists on privacy and ushers her into a room. That's very interesting.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of got serial killer vibes.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, you're gonna make me a dress out of your own human skin.
But make it fashion.
Yes, and do it blindfolded.
Yes. The client welcomes her and answers her questions. They are a princess, more or less, and are embarrassed by their appearance due to an accident when they were younger. This is all well and good, but Frances needs to be able to see them if she is to dress them. The client agrees and lets Frances remove the blindfold, but are sitting in a voluminous robe with a scarf covering their face. I think it's generous to say scarf. I would. It looks like a doily.
It does, like a napkin or something.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Frances drops to her knees in fealty, but the royal isn't formal and offers her candy. They want Frances to make dramatic, beautiful dresses that everyone will notice and show her some pictures that inspire them. They're from the operas and the ballets and other aristocrats. And look at the shoes! The shoes! The royal has some and insists Frances try them on. Of course Frances falls because they're so high, and of course she pulls the royal's disguise off their face to reveal Prince Sebastian.
No!
Yay.
Palace footmen come to check that the prince is okay because they heard a yelp, and he fakes a stubbed toe. Frances has been stuffed in his closet. When she emerges, Sebastian apologizes and explains he's the king's only son, and he likes to wear dresses and would be disowned if he was found out. Sebastian tells Frances she can leave, but why would she? She wants to design dresses for the crown prince. It's a dream job. They're going to help each other.
I want to design dresses for the Crown Prince.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Prince William wearing a dress? It would improve, in my opinion.
It would make things better.
It was so much better. Emile shows Frances to her room in the servants' quarters and gives her one of the 3 keys to the prince's dressing room. And yes, he knows about the prince, but it's none of his business what he chooses to do or wear. After a few moments of letting her new reality hit her, she's literally just lying split on the bed and her eyes are wide and she's like, ah! It's very relatable. Frances goes to the dressing room. The prince's first request is a dress inspired by marmalades and preserves that will go with an orange wig he just bought, and he wants it in 2 days' time. When Frances asks why he wears dresses, Sebastian can't answer. Sometimes he thinks he is his father's son, but sometimes that doesn't feel right at all, and he feels more like he's actually a princess. Frances isn't really fazed by this revelation at all.
No, she's like, oh, okay.
Cool.
Let's start measuring.
I almost feel like she's asking why do you want to wear dresses, just to make sure he doesn't want a pantsuit, you know?
Yeah. It's just that she knows best what to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Professional curiosity rather than nosiness.
Yeah. Sebastian asks what inspired Frances to get into fashion design, and she explains when she was younger and visited the city with her mother, she saw a poster for a ballet, The Muse of Crystalia, and she became obsessed by Madame Aurelia's designs and eventually stopped recreating them and started creating her own costume designs. It's magical.
Lovely. Sebastian finds Frances's first design too conservative. He wants fantasy. But Frances is worried that he might feel silly in her more extravagant designs. But Sebastian gets to decide what's silly or not. Okay. Frances starts a new design and creates a golden preserves masterpiece. And Sebastian looks ethereal. Great. Time to head out. And Frances is coming too. To Maldon's Preserves Miss Marmalade beauty pageant. Confession time. Yeah, this is the first time Sebastian has been in public dressed as a woman.
Man, why do it at a beauty pageant? Your first outing, like, just, go for a walk or something first. Oh, it's
Talk
stressful.
about jumping into the deep end.
Yeah, it's so stressful. The deep end of preserves, just jumping right into a big vat of jelly. That's making this book way sexier than it should be.
Yeah, they're only 16. Let's move on.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. The announcer calls the contestants to go to the stage to compete for 3 cases of Maldon's finest preserves and the title of Miss Marmalade. The winner will be crowned based on audience response, so make sure to cheer for your favorite. I can't say that.
Sissy that walk.
I can't say that because it feels fake. It feels fake for me. I can't say that. The young lady's
the sissy that walk across the stage.
Thank you. I was just going to change it to strut. I'm sorry. I don't want to fake anything magical from RuPaul. It's not fair.
That's
fair. It's not fair for RuPaul.
You can also just go strut, 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 strut. And that works as well.
Do I have to do it with the arms?
If you so desire. It gives you that, it gives you some kind of like, I don't know, empowerment.
I appreciate that you are doing
Strutting and sissying empowers you.
I don't feel powerful today.
Well, there are reasons for that, but,
The young ladies strut, 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 strut across the stage and pose for the crowd. But when Sebastian walks, she is declared a goddess from the land of citrus. It's adorable. Frances watches from the crowd, cheering for Sebastian as she is declared Miss Marmalade. When asked her name, Sebastian slightly freaks out for just a second and tells the announcer it's Lady Crystalia.
The following day, Emile wakes Sebastian, who was asleep against a pyramid wall of preserves. I also think slightly hungover from all the preserves as well, but, you know.
Yeah.
The king has requested his company. Whilst watching polo, the king, who is... Yeah, he's really into the match. He's intense. Very intense.
Yeah.
And the queen asks Sebastian if any young ladies caught his eye at the ball. Well, no. Parties aren't the best place to get to know someone, which is exactly what they think, and are going to be setting up individual meetings for him starting tomorrow with Princess Juliana. This is all very much, and Sebastian argues he's only 16. Pshaw!
Pshaw!
Pshaw! Everyone else in the family were betrothed as toddlers. At least they're giving Sebastian the option to choose who. I would argue that's not a good thing.
No.
And it's very problematic.
Yeah. Back in Sebastian's dressing room, Francis is working on new designs when Sebastian comes in and collapses to the sofa to continue his existential crisis. How can he live up to his parents' expectations? Francis comforts Sebastian, telling him that when she saw Lady Crystalia, Francis saw the real Sebastian, and it was magic. Sebastian feels the same, that Lady Crystalia can do so much more than he can.
At dinner with Princess Juliana and her family, Sebastian hides behind his parents and is stressed by the whole thing. His father has to intercede and sends them on a tour of the Rose Garden, a retreat for lovers.
No. 16.
Ew.
16.
Ew.
Stop it.
Ew. At first, the walk goes well, but Princess Juliana has to go and ruin things by saying how she would like for them to continue getting to know each other, and maybe things could change between them. Sebastian runs off and into a hedge.
So I hope you can get back.
Through a hedge.
Yeah. Just go back that way. Go back the way you came. Get out of here. I'm going to hang out in this bush for a while. Back in the dressing room, Francis is exploring Sebastian's wardrobe when he comes in, rattled. He spies the dress she's been working on and needs to go out in it right now. They're admiring the dancers on stage in the music hall when a balding man knocks into Lady Crystalia. He's clearly been drinking and tries to invite her to come and sit with him, and it's very disgusting.
Gross.
Ugh.
Stop it.
When he gets too close, Lady Crystalia slaps him, and because he's drunk, he stumbles back more than he should. Obviously, his masculinity is very fragile, and he starts threatening Francis and Lady Crystalia. A young man, Peter Tripley, intercedes, saying the ladies are with him, and he takes them upstairs to the VIP room.
Peter loves clothes too, and says he likes the dress Lady Crystalia is wearing, but that it could use some editing, which rude.
Yeah, don't do that.
Rude.
Mm-mm. Also, it does not need editing. It's amazing. It looks like a half, knight's armor sort of thing and, one full arm. It's gorgeous.
It's the type of thing I've seen women wear as their wedding dress and then had the sword fighting photo shoot afterwards.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It is magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
I would wear it.
Same.
So, Peter Tripley, screw you. Anywho. His family is opening a department store with fashion being its central business, and he invites Frances to come to the fashion show he is hosting and offers to introduce her to some people. Back in Sebastian's dressing room, they are both excited about Tripley's department store, and Frances is inspired to make a collection that will get her discovered. Ooh.
Sebastian continues to meet eligible young ladies, and Frances continues creating couture for Lady Crystalia, and her designs begin to inspire others. Because Sebastian is the prince by day and Lady Crystalia by night, he's burning the candle from both ends. The king and queen are worried and suggest he enjoy a spa weekend to de-stress and rest.
Spas make me stressed.
So stressed. No, thank you.
I don't like I don't spas.
No, don't touch me. Stop it.
No. It's the walking around in like bathing suits and just very little, and I'm not confident physically as it is, and then people touching you and yeah, no. Anywho, Sebastian, Francis and Emile head to the spa town. While taking a stroll, Francis tells Lady Crystalia that her designs are being copied and it bothers her that she's getting no credit for it, and Lady Crystalia tries to comfort her. Just then, Princess Juliana and her brother happen upon them. Princess Juliana has heard so much of Lady Crystalia and is delighted to meet her, but her brother he's a lecherous, he's a creep.
Ugh.
Princess Juliana invites Lady Crystalia to the spa with her personal friend and costume designer for the ballet, Madame Aurelia. Oh, we know that name.
We do. Francis begs Lady Crystalia to go, but it's a spa day with very little clothing. That's just the freak out we were just having.
Yes, we totally get you.
And to make things worse, she called herself Crystalia after the ballet, The Muse of Crystalia, designed by Madame Aurelia. It's very embarrassing. But no, it's fine. Just say that you're a fan. It's totally gonna be fine.
So good.
Fine. Okay.
At the spa, Lady Crystalia wears a voluminous swimming costume. It's freaking huge. That also
puffs
traps
up real
air.
big. It's so big.
Which is in the water. So just
it's like a circus tent.
It's circus tent, exactly. It's not the best look, but it hides any attributes that Lady Crystalia might not want on display.
It needs to be puffed in the pants region.
It needs some puffing, yes.
Yes.
Princess Juliana introduces her to Madame Aurelia, and Lady Crystalia takes the opportunity to tell her how her designs inspired her seamstress, Francis. This pleases Madame Aurelia, and she compliments Francis's work. Madame Aurelia continues to talk in the sauna, having a massage, and in the mud bath about her history, and then asks Lady Crystalia's real name. Before trying to come up with an answer, Madame Aurelia changes her mind and dismisses it straight away, knowing she won't remember it. At least she's honest.
It's true.
At last, Madame Aurelia offers to look at Francis's designs when they're back in the city. After the ballet, she's organising the Tripley's fashion show, so knows the look they're going for.
Lady Crystalia can't wait to tell Francis about the invitation. Stopping Francis from getting straight to work, Lady Crystalia suggests they celebrate. Francis puts on a gorgeous blue dress, and Sebastian puts on one of the outfits Francis made for the prince. And they go out to dinner together, and it's really, really cute. And then they visit an aviary, and they ride a carousel, and they go dancing, and then they end the night with fireworks, and it's so precious.
I love it all except the aviary.
Yeah, of course you wouldn't like that. They credit each other with the success and confidence they're feeling. When they go back to the hotel, they share a moment, holding hands. And then they go back to their separate rooms and lie awake, staring at the ceiling all night with the world's biggest, most circular eyes.
They're 16, so it's fine.
It's fine. Good job. Good job doing that.
I like that. It's because
yes.
They're 16. It's
yes. Fine. Holding hands is enough, friends.
It's cute and it's adorable, and I like them holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
The weekend ends and they head back to Paris and the roles they must fulfill. Sebastian, as the Crown Prince, meets eligible young ladies of the aristocracy, and Francis designs, creates, and mends clothes. At one point, Sebastian watches his mother talking to Francis and completely ignores the princess in front of him. He can't stop looking at Francis, and we have a little background scream. While having afternoon tea, Sebastian stops listening to the princess, thanks her for coming, but tells her there is no future between them before walking off. I mean, that is slightly rude, but he is distracted.
Also, she was 12 and she was talking about ponies.
Yeah. Pshaw.
Pshaw to the ponies. Pony pshaw.
Pony pshaw.
It's a pony pshaw.
As the king stands to berate his son for, walking away from the 12-year-old talking about ponies.
For the pony pshaw.
For the pony pshaw, he clutches his chest and falls over.
No.
Oh, no.
The doctors come for the king. The queen is taken to her suite, and Sebastian sits outside his father's rooms all night until the surgeon informs him they are done. Sebastian goes inside, and his strong, full of life and vigor father is weak and looks really ill. The king tells his son there is no one he trusts more to look after his mother and their kingdom more than him.
That is so, so sweet, but also pressure.
Yeah.
So, he's still a child.
Yeah, he just had a pony pshaw.
In Sebastian's dressing room, Lady Castalia gets ready for the ballet. She is distracted on the journey with Francis, who is clutching her designs in a folder. Lady Castalia barely notices the ballet or Francis's comments, and Francis, sympathetic with what is going on with the king, doesn't push. In a confusing turn, Lady Castalia stops Francis from meeting Madame Aurelia and offers to take Francis's designs to show her instead. Everyone knows she is the prince's personal seamstress and will put two and two together, outing Lady Castalia as Sebastian. But why now? Because Sebastian could be made king at any moment and can't take any chances. I would argue Lady Castalia is a side project and not the Crown Prince Sebastian if you need to keep identity secret.
Yeah, there are ways. There are things that could have been done. With promises to get Francis's designs in the show, Lady Castalia takes her folder and dismisses her back to the palace. As Francis is leaving, Madame Aurelia passes her on the grand staircase and stops her, mentioning that she recognizes Francis as a friend of Lady Castalia's. When Madame Aurelia asks her name, Francis says no one and flees, and it's so sad.
Oh, Francis. Later, Lady Castalia returns and announces Francis is in the show. Yay?
Yay.
Francis declares that it doesn't matter. She won't be able to be there and will never be able to take the credit for her work without outing Sebastian as Lady Castalia. Lady Castalia is a secret, so she must remain a secret too, and she just can't do it anymore. Sebastian questions who would cheer for a king in a dress. Me. 1,000% me. I live in a monarchy. If my king started wearing a dress, I would actually have more respect for them. Frances quits. She's willing to start over rather than languish in the closet. But Sebastian forbids it and orders her back to her servant quarters. Yeah, no. Pshaw! Pony pshaw to this.
Pony pshaw to this for sure.
Francis hands back her key to his dressing room. Ooh.
Don't order anyone back to the servants' quarters.
No.
Not okay. I
understand he's in pain. I understand that he's feeling rejection.
Yeah.
I understand he's scared. There's a myriad of feelings going on. And he's only 16. He's only a child.
Yeah.
But pony pshaw.
Pony pshaw to that. Sebastian languishes in his rooms, curtains drawn. His parents visit and try to engage him, and during one attempt, Sebastian announces he will marry Princess Juliana because he's come to realize his responsibilities. His parents are so happy, but Sebastian is clearly not. Meanwhile, Frances has gotten a job as a seamstress. The other seamstresses are gossiping about Prince Sebastian and his betrothal to Princess Juliana. Frances overhears and leaves in a hurry, upset, and knocks over boxes intended for Tripley's. Peter arrives in and recognizes her, asking about Lady Crystalia, and she admits she no longer works for her. Peter pays the dressmaker to borrow Frances for the afternoon, taking her to Tripley's. Frances is astounded by all the work being done in the huge space intended just for fashion. Peter offers her a job as a designer because she has the eye.
Even if it does need editing.
Ugh. Ugh.
The night before the wedding, Sebastian goes out as Lady Crystalia and starts drinking.
No, bad idea.
Prince Marcel, Princess Juliana's brother, the creep, finds Lady Crystalia a bit tipsy. Prince Marcel invites Lady Crystalia to the wedding as his date, but this is Lady Crystalia's last night. She has hurt too many people and must go away. Marcel pushes his intentions, even use the "I'm royalty" line.
Gross.
But then he says Lady Crystalia could be a queen one day. Yeah. Lady Crystalia, who is already a queen, thank you very much, starts to laugh hysterically, saying, "Can you imagine if I married you and your sister?" Pony pshaw. Wait, what? Then Lady Crystalia swoons. Marcel pokes Lady Crystalia a bit because, he's an idiot and can't seem to see if somebody is okay without just jabbing them. And he sees that she is wearing a wig and that Prince Sebastian is underneath the wig. Marcel orders his friends to pick him up and hide him.
Ugh. I had thoughts right here.
Yeah.
And
probably similar thoughts to me.
Actually, it's probably the opposite thoughts to you.
Okay.
But we can't talk about it yet because obviously...
Oh, put a pin in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the wedding day, and no one has seen either Prince Sebastian or Prince Marcel. Well, it doesn't matter. Being at your own wedding as a royal isn't necessary. The king can stand in as proxy. Before the ceremony can start, Marcel makes a dramatic entrance with Lady Crystalia being assisted in behind him. He pulls off the wig, revealing Sebastian, and a bucket of water is thrown in Sebastian's face to wake him up. Marcel explains to the king that Prince Sebastian and Lady Crystalia are one and the same. Princess Juliana declares she can't do this and flees as Sebastian admits he's been wearing dresses for a long time. The king leaves.
The news that Prince Sebastian is Lady Crystalia spreads like wildfire through painful, hurtful gossip. When Frances overhears Peter and his friends laughing at Sebastian, she calls them monsters and runs to the palace. She finds Emile and asks if Sebastian is okay, but Emile confesses that Sebastian is gone. He ran off, and Emile doesn't know where. He tells Frances that Sebastian left her all the dresses she made for him. This is really good of Frances. Straight away she hears something wrong and she goes to check on her friend.
Frances goes into Sebastian's dressing room and starts to look through the dresses. The king, waking up on the floor, surrounded by empty bottles, asks what she is doing, but then he breaks down, wondering what he did wrong. Frances tells him nothing. It's just the way Sebastian is, and that he only ever wanted to make his parents proud. Sebastian was perfect.
Meanwhile, Emile has found a letter addressed to him and heads to a monastery on a remote mountaintop where Sebastian is wearing monk robes.
No.
No.
They're not even like bedazzled or anything. They're just brown.
The serving brown.
Oh.
Sebastian gives Emile letters of apology for Juliana, his parents, and Francis, that he would like them to be delivered. Before he leaves, Emile tells Sebastian Francis is working on the fashion show for Triples.
It's the grand opening of Triples, and it seems the whole of Paris is there. Frances is getting ready, but she doesn't feel happy, even though Peter insists her collection is perfect, like no editing at all, and that she is going to be a star. Mr. Tripley welcomes the masses, and the show is about to begin, so Frances is in the back making last-minute fixes. She's not too busy to notice someone stealing a ginger wig and gives chase. It's Sebastian! Emile told him about the show, and he had to come see it. Frances insists this is her dream, yet Sebastian says the dresses she made are lovely, and her name is on them, but she isn't in the designs at all. Frances becomes defensive, and Sebastian sadly hands the wig back, wishing her success before leaving. Frances calls him back, telling him the trunk he left her with the collection she made for him is downstairs, and that there's still time to get the models changed.
Together they hurry downstairs and run straight into Peter with the king and the queen and some royal guards.
Uh-oh.
Pshaw? Pony Pshaw. Peter hands Sebastian over and heads back upstairs with clear warning in his look to Francis. Jerk. The queen, who has been so worried, grabs her son crying. Sebastian asks his father to wait to take him until after he's helped Francis with the show. The king orders the guards to give any and all assistance they need.
Back in Tripley's main hall, Mr. Tripley is introducing Frances's collection, but notably never mentioning her name as the designer. The maestro conducts the orchestra as the first royal guard struts down the catwalk in a yellow strapless dress with matching hat, and he serves with his tiny little mustache. The crowd goes wild as the royal guards walk, but Mr. Tripley is livid. He finds Sebastian in his catwalk outfit and orders security to grab him because he's kicking him out and taking his show back. Someone stands in the way, telling Mr. Tripley, "No, you are not."
It's the king! And he's wearing, oh my god, he is wearing shining antler horns, a smoky red eye, a voluptuous off-the-shoulder gown, and a determined expression. He tells security to get their hands off his son. Helping Sebastian back to his feet, it's time for the king to take to the stage and city that walk, and it is glorious. So exciting.
When the king returns backstage after absolutely wowing the crowd, Francis asks why he is doing this. The king admits that the world is changing from kings and princes to department stores. Sebastian's life isn't ruined, especially as he still has someone who loves him, giving a pointed look at Francis. Francis grabs Sebastian and kisses him. Sebastian is stunned, but then he kisses her back. Then it's his turn to take to the catwalk and close the show.
Sebastian wears a crown and a big red cape, then dramatically reveals a blue dress with yellow accents and butterflies. The skirt is laid and cut in the style of butterfly wings. Everyone is stunned. After all the models return, Sebastian introduces the designer, his friend Francis, and the crowds run to the order desk. They run, they do not walk. You must run to get Francis's designs. Peter congratulates Francis. It's slightly condescending.
Needs some editing, for sure.
It needs some editing. and Madame Aurelia presents Frances with a huge bouquet of roses, telling her the collection is fantastic.
In the palace, Emile interrupts Sebastian's studies with a message from his parents. They miss him and hope he'll visit Brussels soon, and he says he'll be going to see them in a few weeks for his mother's birthday. Meanwhile, the fashions of Paris are inspired by Frances's designs, and Frances herself is working with Madame Aurelia. When Sebastian comes to visit her at the boutique, he is wearing what makes him feel confident and most himself, a beautiful red dress and duck egg blue cloak. Sebastian embraces Frances, telling her he has some new designs to show her.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it!
So cute.
Oh,
It's precious.
very, very, and I'm so glad we did not end with pony pshaw.
Same.
Smash cut to an author?
Sure.
I'm Kat Ellis, author of weird and creepy young adult books like Harrow Lake and Wicked Little Deeds, or Burden Falls as it's known in the US. My next YA horror, The Devouring Light, comes out right in time for Halloween. In it, rivals Hayden and Deacon and their bands are stranded in a deadly swamp on their way to a rock festival, and they think missing the gig is the worst thing that's going to happen to them this weekend. It's not. Marooned with a broken down bus and no way out of the swamp, they spot an old house where they can hole up until help comes. But the house has been waiting for them, and it knows help isn't coming. As secrets are revealed and bodies pile up, Hayden starts to lose her grip on reality. Can the house make good on its promise to make all her dreams come true? And can Hayden afford the deadly cost? I hope you'll add The Devouring Light to your Halloween reading list. It's available to pre-order now and you can request it on NetGalley.
What do you love most about this book?
Everything. It's so cute. I love the fact that Frances, without question, accepts Sebastian for exactly who they are.
Can I just say, I don't think you need to use they, them. I'm pretty sure he remains he, him, unless he is dressed as Lady Crystalia. Even the author calls him him.
That is true. And it was when Sebastian was wearing the wig, in my mind it was she, her. When
Yes.
Sebastian wasn't wearing the wig, it was he, him.
Yeah.
And I'm saying they at the moment because
You're talking
Frances
about both of them?
accepts Sebastian and Lady Crystalia.
Okay. Yes.
So Frances just, okay, like even when she asks Sebastian why you're wearing dresses, it doesn't come across to me in a condescending manner or anything other than really professional curiosity so she can gauge what she's going to be designing
Yeah.
for him. Because,
Like,
I mean, who doesn't love Charlize Theron in a pantsuit, you know?
right,
So
exactly.
she can rock a dress, she can rock a pantsuit. It might be that Sebastian has the same preference.
Yeah, like, are you wearing dresses because that's the only, like, ladies' fashion that is available to you? Like, you can't really get your hands on a lot of stuff. Is that why you're wearing dresses? Or do you want to wear something different? I can make you anything.
And she does.
Yes.
She makes magic.
She does make magic.
But I will say, Sebastian, as a monk who was gardening
No.
badly,
No.
no, not at
No,
all.
that's not it.
Pony pshaw to that.
Pony pshaw to that, indeed. That was
just ridiculous.
That was
and
not
I
it.
loved it for it being ridiculous.
Yes.
Like, what where does a prince run off to? A monastery.
No. Stop it. Horrible.
That was hilarious.
I love that Sebastian is able to be himself and is still himself the whole time, minus the few minutes in the monk robes. But I like that he is finally able to, like, feel comfortable at the end, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of that is, I mean, obviously it's down to his fashion and his fashion designer, but I think his dad helping him out at the end really just made him, you know what? I can do this. And it's fine. And I have to strive to be more beautiful than my father in his dress, which is going to be real tough because the king, like, gorgeous.
Wow. Those
gorgeous.
Antlers. I want those antlers.
Yes, the antlers and also the red eyeshadow.
Oh my god, that smoky red. Oh my god.
Gorgeous. Amazing.
It was just
beautiful.
And you know. I mean, the king has a very big beard.
Yes.
He's a bear.
He's got very wide shoulders. He is broad.
He has wide shoulders. You know he's a hairy man, and you know in certain circles he would be a bear.
Yes.
But I bet he's got cheekbones to die for.
I'm sure he does.
I bet he does not need any contouring.
No. And you know, maybe if they weren't betrothed at 2... he could have had his own life experiences. But you know what? The doors are open now.
Well, and I'll tell you one thing, though. Sebastian said that his dad was in the military. Smash cut to the pictures of his dad in the military. I mean, well, what happens in the military stays in the military. Campaigning can be a long and arduous process and long and lonely dark nights. Just gonna, shoehorn that stereotype in there.
Sure, it's fine. The king was my favorite character.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we tend not to go for the Francis and Sebastian, obviously, but we tend not to go for the main characters as our favourites. So I have to agree with the king. But I will give a shout out for Emil. I did like Emil.
Yeah.
He walked a long way to that monastery for the prince. I thought it was a little sad though, and Sebastian was keeping Francis secret. Like we said a little bit in the summary, so you understand. So there's some panels that when you get to a certain point, you actually think about them in a different light. So there was some panels where Sebastian is with Pony Pshaw, 12-year-old, or one of the other not even hormonal preteens.
Yeah.
He's been set up with. And he's not paying any attention to them, but he's watching Francis. And he sees his mother talking to Francis, and his mother's just like, "Oh, you're Sebastian's seamstress. My seamstress is gone. Is not here at the moment. I've got some things that need fixing. Can you do it for us?" And he's like, "Oh, people are recognising Francis as my seamstress. All well and good." And you think that's perfectly innocent, and you think he's just looking at Francis because they've had that handhold moment, maybe he's pining for her. But then when you get a little further in, and he says to Francis, "No, you can't meet Madame Aurelia. It doesn't matter that she is your role model and hero.
Yeah. It's
not going to happen because people realise that you are Crown Prince Sebastian's seamstress and Lady Crystalia's, and therefore will make the quote-unquote natural assumption that Crystalia and Sebastian are one and the same." I would dispute that. And it just made me really sad because I really thought about those panels and thought, was he looking at Francis in a kind of realising that it's a friends to lover situation, that his emotions are changing towards her? Or was he looking at Francis interacting with his mother and thinking, "Oh no, people are starting to recognise who Francis is"?
I think it was more that.
Yeah, and it tarnished those
yeah.
panels a little bit, but in a way I think they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it made me a little sad.
Yeah.
And it's, I think definitely Sebastian needs some therapy because of this whole dual identity and coming to terms with his form of expression and self-identity. But obviously this is, France, pre-revolutionary France.
Yeah. I would like to go back and talk about that instance with Marcel. Because in that panel, Marcel is like, "We have to hide him." And I thought, "Oh, we have to hide him. We have to keep him safe." And then, nope, throwing him in the middle of the floor in front of the king and tossing a bucket of water on him. Like, yeesh. But I wonder, I mean, obviously Marcel was feeling some kind of way toward Lady Crystalia, and I think that the realization made him, you know, more disgusting than he already is. But just for that half of a second, I thought, oh, he's going to help. No, wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I had that same half second. And then there was that other half second where I thought, are we going to have a dark scene here where Marcel is going to hurt Sebastian?
I didn't think we were going to go that far.
But it's not that type of comic.
Yeah.
If it was a darker comic with probably, I mean, I say elements of realism, but if it was more drawn in a more realistic fashion and potentially even more of a modern setting.
Or if it was just more for adults than for teens.
Yeah, I think it could have gone to a dark place at that point, and Sebastian could have been physically hurt.
Yes.
Because Marcel comes across as that kind of creep.
Yeah, he really does.
So yeah, I was worried. There was that half second of, he likes dresses too. He's going to protect Sebastian.
Yeah.
You know, and protect his sister at the same time.
No, we were wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Oh, he's just a jerk.
It's horrible. We had to keep it a secret so he could be the one to reveal it. Gross.
In such a horribly public manner that also hurts his sister.
Yeah. It's not a good look for him.
No. Jerk.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Ugh.
Is there anything else we need to discuss, or should we move on to favorite final thought quote?
Any surprises, or is that the Sebastian Marcel?
The Marcel situation, I think, was my surprise.
Yeah, I think my surprise is that the king actually walked in the fashion show. I hoped he would accept Sebastian without question, regardless.
Yeah, of course.
But the fact he actually showed up and stomped was amazing. Showed up, stomped, and served. Oh my god.
Yes.
He served. It was glorious.
It was very beautiful. He was the most gorgeous of them all.
I think Sebastian needs to look at his dad going, that's where I got my incredible legs from.
Yeah. It's like, should I grow a beard? Because Dad's looking pretty amazing.
Sebastian, you're 16.
Stop it. You can't grow a beard yet, dude. You're a precious baby. Oh, but then, is he gonna try to grow like a teenage mustache?
Oh,
teenage mustaches are the worst.
I'd pony pshaw that.
Pshaw it. I'm sorry, teenage mustache. I'm sorry.
Stop saying it.
I know, I'm sorry.
Stop saying it.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry that I said teenage mustache. No.
Say no to teenage mustaches.
Say no to teenage mustaches. Gross. No.
Say no to teenage mustaches. But yes to cheekbones.
Yes, sure. Fine. But ew.
Antlers. Say yes to antlers. No to
yes
teenage
to
mustaches.
Antlers.
Yes to antlers.
Gross. Ugh.
Oh, it's gross.
I know, I'm sorry. I think we should move on now.
Oh, can I just ask? So, you know when he was doing the pageant, when he did the Beauty Queen, and it was the Miss Marmalade, did you have the Miss Marmalade song go through your head as well from Moulin Rouge?
Oh, yes, of course.
That's fine.
Yeah, of course.
And then obviously one of the people was replaced by Lady Crystalia.
Yeah, definitely. But not Missy Elliott.
No.
Christina Aguilera.
Replacing Christina Aguilera with Lady Crystalia.
Yeah. It's perfection.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, okay.
Oh. Favourite fire Hogwarts. Okay. I'm only going to give you a couple because there wasn't masses.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, but there wasn't.
Right.
Just read the book.
Yeah.
You know what? Just make it ghastly. Make me look like the devil's wench.
God, I loved it so much.
Lady Sophia. Yes. She serves the devil's wench.
Yes. So amazing.
Okay, I'm going to give you the context of it, but there's really it's for one sentence of this.
Okay.
How's your summer in Paris going, Prince Sebastian? Oh, wonderful. I've been reading a lot of books, eating a lot of pastries. So, yeah.
Bless him. He is not
Me
interested.
too. What have you got?
Oh, one really meant a lot to me, and it's at the very beginning when Frances stays up all night making, the devil's wench dress, and one of her coworkers tells her, "Don't work too hard. This job won't love you back," and I was like, yes.
Yes.
I need to take those words to heart sometimes.
I think I actually read that just after we'd had a conversation, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. It was you, but you were more, bigger, more amazing. You were like a goddess version of yourself. It was magic. It was magic. It was glorious. It's amazing.
Love it.
So good. Such a precious book.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The artwork was really good.
It was very, very good.
Okay, we have not asked on social media because we are actually recording this a little bit out of order.
We are.
But we will ask on social media.
Would
you rather walk at a fashion show or be in a beauty pageant?
Wait, can I say something? Say something? Do you remember that one time many, many years ago when we had to record an episode early and so we couldn't do Would You Rather? But then we came back and we recorded the first question later and we shared it on social media and we were wearing beards.
Yes.
Can we please do this again?
Yes.
And then we come back and we
Can I have
share.
beard and crown?
Yes. We have to dress appropriately. I mean, we are both wearing gorgeous crowns right now, but I feel like we need to take it over the top and record ourselves sharing our responses that we get to this question.
1,000% yes.
Okay, doing it.
Do you want to answer
Done.
this one now or later?
I think we should do it then. I think we should do it later. I think we should only do 4 questions today, which is shocking.
A shocking turn of events.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Move to you then.
All right. Would you rather be royalty or a fashion designer?
1,000% a fashion designer.
Yes. 1,000 times yes.
A fashion designer for royalty or royal fashion designer? No, because then if you're royalty and you become a fashion designer, I can't help but feel nepotism.
Yeah.
I don't mind being a fashion designer who royalty has worn.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I just don't want to be royal.
No.
I don't want to do it.
What was if it's royal in a fair court?
I don't like the Fae, though.
Don't trust them. Don't trust the Fae.
Can I be like a vampire queen?
Yes.
Then yes.
I will be the queen of the undead.
Okay. Yeah, also fine. I'm going to be a vampire queen but taking inspiration from Miss Gale's books, not that I have to stay in one place all the time, although that is very nice, not having to leave your house, but they have a nice set, those vampire queens have a nice set of double fangs.
Yes.
And I like it.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I also like the genuine excuse of, sorry, I can't come to your party, I can't leave my house, otherwise I will cause my entire hive to swarm, and that's just inconvenient.
Yeah. Come see me.
No, don't come see me.
No, you're right.
Yeah, come see me and you'll be a snack.
Yeah. Get your food delivered.
Talk about Uber Eats.
Perfect.
Uber Eat You. That's a different book.
Oh, no, stop it.
Uh,
No, move on. Next question.
Would you rather work in a department store or in a boutique dressmaker's or as a private dressmaker?
I think I want to go for a boutique. I feel like I don't want to work in a department store because that's just like slogging out the same outfit over and over and over and over and over again. And the private dressmaker, I feel like could get a little boring after a while. So if you go boutique, you know, you can make a few designs and they can all be different. I feel like that's the nice like middle ground. And that's the way to go.
I agree. You've still got the variety of clientele. Whereas with a private dressmaker, if somebody has a signature look,
and you have to just keep doing
colour,
it. Yeah.
Like, oh, again and again and again. It's like, no, actually, you do realise that blue is not your colour. You're in autumn, not in spring. Yeah. So, yeah. At least with a boutique, you've got like, and I think as well, you need to keep fresh, and to keep fresh, you need competition, friendly or otherwise. And I think in the boutique dressmakers, at least having colleagues there will help, and they'll offer constructive criticism, not saying, oh, it needs editing, Peter Tripley, pshaw to you. But I think having colleagues to help critique your designs is useful.
Yes. Would you rather have an awkward conversation in a sauna whilst having a massage or in a mud bath?
I'm going to choose mud bath. Not the massage. I'm not keen. Though if somebody wants to do a sports massage on my calves right now, I think I would gladly take it because they're in so much pain. I don't mind a sauna, but I get quite agitated by the heat. Yeah. And I can't, my brain stops functioning. Yeah. And I have had a mud bath before, at Cleopatra's baths in Turkey. There was sulphur baths, where she actually used to go and have sulphur baths. And there is a picture of me and my mum covered in head to toe in mud, and it's a very cute picture of us. And we stunk of sulphur afterwards, but it was very fun. So I'm going to go mud bath. Good for the skin. I'll imagine the glow afterwards.
It would be an amazing glow. I'm going to go sauna because it's an awkward conversation, and I feel like you could get out of the sauna faster than you could get out of any other situation.
That is true. I would always be concerned, though, is the other person naked?
You know what? If you're running, though, away from it, it'll be okay.
Things might dingle dongle.
Just look directly into their eyes and don't look at anybody's dangles.
No. Eyes forward, not down.
Yeah. Don't look at awkward, sweaty dangles.
Ew.
With teenage mustaches.
Pony pshaw! Pony pshaw!
Gross. Gross. I'm sorry. Move on.
Would you rather design costumes for ballet performances or couture clothing for royalty? And why is it ballet performance costumes?
No, actually, I would rather do couture clothing for royalty. Yeah. I feel like with the ballet performances, like those have to have like intricate lines, and like you have to be able to dance. You have to be able to perform in it. Whereas if you're just making some weird couture thing, like people walking on runways or like red carpet events, like sometimes they can barely even walk. So I feel like you just got to get that photo and then move on. So I'm going to go couture clothing for royalty. And I'm thinking red carpet here.
I'm going to say the costumes for the ballet performances, because it could be stage ballet and it could be movie/TV shows that are being filmed. And I just think the creative potential of being able to go ridiculously huge and fantastical and ethereal and dramatic is greater than what the couture clothing to royalty.
I'm just thinking of like the Met Gala, though.
There is nothing to say that the costumes from a ballet performance can't be in the Met Gala.
But you can't dance in that. You can't dance in some of that stuff. It's weird.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking more along the lines of operatic performances as well.
Okay.
So maybe it's a bit of a mix.
Okay. Sure.
But just imagine the masks.
Masks would be good.
Alone. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do the couture clothing for royalty and have a mask.
Right.
But there's probably more mask need in ballet performances.
But even then, not. You don't always need a mask.
Well, in the ballet performances that I'm going to be doing it for, yes, you will.
Just perfect.
Because remember, Lord and Master of all I survey.
Yeah, of course.
So I want over the top, I want drama, I want to be serving the devil's wench.
Yes. Yes.
So,
with
yeah,
antlers.
I want to do the ballet, the devil's wench.
Fine. Yeah, okay, I like it. Let's go ahead.
Cool.
We'll start writing it and you can do the designs.
Thanks.
And then I will show up at the event in my couture weird outfit.
Yes.
I will be there to help you open your show. And I will make you a fantastic and ridiculous outfit as well.
I think a costume designer for the ballet could do just as good a job at a Met Gala
I'm
style
sure.
outfit as well.
I'm sure.
They would know how to bring the drama.
Yeah.
But for once, I look at those dresses and they do not very often, to me, personally, the Met Gala outfits, no matter who's wearing them, do not necessarily fit the brief that the Met Gala has said.
No.
They tell you to wear this.
You have to follow the rules.
And they don't. They just rock at wearing whatever.
Yeah.
No, you were given a brief. Work to the brief.
Yeah, I agree.
Zendaya always works to the brief.
Zendaya is everything.
She's perfection.
Yeah. Okay, if you liked this, try this. What are you going to suggest?
I'm going to suggest another Jen Wang, because I fell down the rabbit hole of looking at Jen Wang's back catalogue. And
Okay.
This one is called In Real Life, and it's by Corey Doctorow and Jen Wang.
Okay.
Anda loves Course Gold Online, the massively multiplayer role-playing game where she spends most of her free time. It's a place where she can be a leader, a fighter, a hero. It's a place where she can meet people from all over the world and make friends. But things become a lot more complicated when Anda befriends a gold farmer, a poor Chinese kid whose avatar in the game illegally collects valuable objects and then sells them to players from developed countries with money to burn. This behaviour is strictly against the rules of Corsair Gold, but Anda soon comes to realise that questions of right and wrong are a lot less straightforward when a real person's real livelihood is at stake.
Ooh.
I like the idea of it being this online game.
Yeah, but don't
RPG
bring it into the
world.
real world. Oh, scary.
Yeah, I think it sounds pretty interesting, so
Yeah.
I was gonna check it out. But she's got loads. Like
Yeah.
I must have looked at Goodreads and gone, ooh, I'll do this one. No, I'm going to do this one. No, I'm going to do this one. So she's got such a big back catalogue. Check out Jen Wang's works, basically.
Yeah, you gotta pick somewhere to start. And start with Prince and the Dressmaker.
Definitely, 100%. So accessible.
Yeah.
What are you going to recommend?
I am going to recommend a book called Princess Ever After by Kay O'Neill. And this is another graphic novel, and it's really cute. And I read it in one sitting, and it's just adorable. When the heroic Princess Amira rescues the kind-hearted Princess Sadie from her tower prison, neither expects to find a true friend in the bargain. Yet, as they adventure across the kingdom, they discover that they bring out the very best in the other person. They'll need to join forces and use all the know-how, kindness, and bravery they have in order to defeat their greatest foe yet, a jealous sorceress who wants to get rid of Sadie once and for all. Join Sadie and Amira, two very different princesses with very different strengths, on their journey to figure out what happily ever after really means and how they can find it with each other.
Oh, that sounds really good. I think I've seen the cover of it.
It's super cute.
Yeah, I might have to check that one out.
Yeah.
Do we have a new indie spotlight?
We do. This one is called We Could Be Magic by Marissa Meyer, and everyone might recognize Marissa Meyer from some of her other amazing works like Cinder and Renegades and a million other things. She's written a million things, but this one is a graphic novel, and it comes out June 3rd. So you got a couple months still to pre-order. When Tabitha Laurie was growing up, a visit to Summerland saved her belief in true love, even as her parents' marriage was falling apart. Now she's landed her dream job at the theme park's prestigious summer program, where she can make magical memories for other kids, guests, and superfans just like her. All she has to do is audition for one of the coveted princess roles, and soon her dreams will come true. There's just one problem. The heroes and heroines at Summerland are all, well, thin. And no matter how much Tabby lives for the magic, she simply doesn't fit the park's idea of a princess. Given a not-so-regal position at a nacho food stand instead, Tabby is going to need the support of new friends, a new crush, and a whole lot of magic if she's going to devise her own happily ever after, without getting herself fired in the process.
Oh.
So, really cute. This one is illustrated by Joelle Murray, and it looks super cute.
It sounds really good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it for this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss Illuminations by T. Kingfisher. Look out for our Would You Rather polls and monthly challenges on social media. Don't forget about our book club on Discord. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover-themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com and follow us on all social media at Fictional Hangover. If you like this episode, check out our others and be sure to rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for listening.